Hi, Matt with eTrailer. If you have a 2024 Ram 1500 and you want to carry your bikes from point A to point B, but you want to carry a variety of different types, then the RockyMounts Monorail Bike Rack is going to be a great option for you. So let's check it out. So right off the bat, this is going to have a weight capacity of 60 pounds per bike, and we're going to be able to hold 2 of them. Now that is going to give us a pretty decent tilt-away, but it won't allow us to open up our tailgate all the way. To really show you what I mean, I'll show you right here. We're going to have this blue lever. If I pull on that, that's going to allow me to tilt this back. We just got to watch out so we don't bonk our head on here. And this is going to give me the ability to open this up partially. Now, if I lower this down, you're going to notice we're going to reach a point where we're going to make contact with our cradle right here. So you won't be able to open it up completely, but this is enough. If you had some smaller, lighter items, you want to throw it back here, reach in, grab them, you would have that opportunity. Now, if you wanted to set this down and put heavier items on here, I wouldn't recommend that. But we can put this back into the seated position just by lifting up on it. Really easy to use. And it's not going to sit too close to our vehicle. If I really shake this, I'm shaking this pretty hard. If you're going down some really bumpy roads, you might get something like this, but we're nowhere clear or even near to our tailgate. So that's really nice, even if you do have that really heavy e-bike on here. Now, if we want to take a closer look at this rack, I'm going to have to remove the bike. So where I like to start is with this rear strap here. What I like about this is everything's coated in blue that you need to touch. So it just makes it a little bit more intuitive. And we've had this one down in the shop for a hot minute, so sometimes it can get a little stuck. That just lets you know it's pretty secure though too. Tuck that away. We'll take off this front ratcheting hook. And what I like about this is since we're not making any contact with our frame, this is perfect for those alternative carbon frame bikes or any bike with a really nice paint job. All I have to do now is to lift up, take it off, and then I can take it out for a ride. Now we can take a closer look at some of those cradles we have on this rack. So with that front cradle, what's nice about that is we're going to have 2 divots. We're going to have one for your skinny tires, and then we're going to have this larger one that can accommodate tires with a width of a maximum of 5 inches. Well, it's also going to have the support here for the front tire, because that front tire can wobble a little bit, so it's nice that we have just a little bit of help to keep it in place. I can actually push this down to give us more of a clean look when we're not driving around. And I also have the strap. I like to tuck mine back in, so it's just not dangling around as I drive. What I also like is this pivots to accommodate a wider range of wheelbases. But of course, when you are about to hit the road again, make sure you put this hook back up. We don't want that kind of driving down or out when we're driving down the road. So next up, I'm going to get a few measurements just to see how this is going to look back here. So the first one I'm getting is going to be our ground clearance. I'll go from that blue handle. That's going to be about 25 inches, which is pretty good. Really the only thing to consider is if you have those really heavy e-bikes, that might be a little bit of a lift, so you might have to grab a friend to help you out. Definitely keep that in mind. Now the next thing I'm going to get is going to be the total distance away from our back bumper. That's going to be about 33 inches, which is pretty solid, pretty average for a 2-bike carrier. It's something to consider though when you're in those really tight spots like a parking spot or garage. But of course we can tilt this up. Something I should point out too, even this configuration, we cannot open our tailgate all the way. So right here, we're still going to be making contact with your cradles. That could be a big thing for you. If you wanted to rest it here, you could, but I still don't recommend it. But like I said, we can fold this up using that blue lever we used earlier till it folds into this position. And now we are only going to stick out about 14.5 inches. So that's going to save you a ton of space. So now we can check out how it's going to really interact back here. So right off the back, we are going to block our license plate. That's going to be the case with most hitch bike racks. Now, if you're looking for something that's not going to do that, I'd actually recommend checking out some tailgate pads. Because what's really nice about that, they just sit on the tailgate. You don't have to worry about it getting in your way. But our tail lights and backup camera won't be blocked. Now, you'll probably see a little bit in your backup camera, but it won't obstruct anything. Now, for how this is going to install, we're going to have a 2-inch shank, and that's going to go into your 2-inch hitch receiver. We're going to have a 3/4 inch anti-rattle bolt that comes through and connects to this lock core. The anti-rattle bolt is just giving us a little bit more of a better fit in here so it's not rattling around, and that lock core is giving us more security, and it's going to use the same key system as your included bike cable lock. Now, in my opinion, I think this is a pretty good option for what we have today. I do think there are better options out there. I'm a fan of tailgate pads because, one, they do save you a lot of space, especially in the back of your vehicle, allows you to use your hitch for other accessories or to haul a trailer behind you. And it's just a really nice way to save space because instead of taking up around 33 inches on the back of our vehicle, we're only going to take up maybe around 10 inches on the back, so that's pretty nice. Now, the one drawback to that is if you have those really heavy e-bikes or those carbon frame bikes, those carbon frame bikes are going to be constantly making contact with something, and those heavy e-bikes are going to be really hard to get above here. Like, just imagine trying to lift your e-bike above your tailgate. It won't be easy. So that's where I think these types of hitches or carriers come into hand. Now, if you like what this offers you, but you want something that's going to be a little bit easier to use and have more integrated features, then I'd check out the Kuat NV 2.0 base bike rack. Because what's nice about that is it's going to have more integrated features like an integrated bike cable lock, and honestly, it's just a little bit easier to handle. But really, it's just going to come down to what is your needs. But that's just a look at the RockyMounts Monorail Bike Rack on the back of our 2024 Ram 1500. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action. And this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.